welcome back. I'm Wavepunk, and this is day 35 of producing for a year. Today, we are adding 8-bit percussion to our Game Boy breakdown, as I'm calling it. This is the section that obviously it's all supposed to be kind of a chiptune-inspired piece and then a chiptune-inspired EP, but this part's going to be very chiptuney. I started things off by adding a snare, taking an 8-bit plugin and switching it to its noise oscillation type, finding the sound that sounded the most snare-like, adjusting the sustain and decay so that it falls off like a drum does, and putting in some snare sounds. Now, as I did this, I actually stopped doing drums at this point to reroute everything. I knew that I wanted to put a filter over the entire mix to make it sound like it was coming through a very small speaker, like a Game Boy or like an old like AM radio type thing. And so I moved every sound in this section to a bus that I titled Game Boy, and then I put a filter on that bus, just so I can kind of get the sound in my head. We'll fine tune that filter later. It sounded like this for now. Next, we added hi-hats, kind of the same idea as the snares, but at a higher register, and I think I used a different noise type here. And then we have the bass drum. Now, this is kind of hard because the idea of the filter is that it's going to pull out all of the low end, so anything that would kind of simulate a bass drum is going to be more, I don't know, it's going to be in the spot the bass drum is, well, maybe isn't going to technically sound like one because it's coming through such a small spectrum. But even given all of that, it kind of sucked. I didn't really know how to make the bass drum sound right. So we went to YouTube to find tutorials. First off, I got excited that, hey, you guys are commenting. You're enjoying the video. Leave a comment, please. I read them all. It makes my day when you guys do. But then, man, there was so many good tutorials out there about this plugin. None that were specifically drum related. We found a second plugin, a Game Boy plugin that seemed like 8-bit magical plugin, but with a little bit more of a UI on top of it, just to make it feel kind of Game Boy. Found out that was only for Windows. Cried a heap and pile of tears there because we weren't going to be able to use it. And then we just kind of kept searching. Honestly, the top tutorial, the very first video, had so many cool tips. If you're interested in using this plugin, I left the link to it down below. Cannot recommend this enough. It was very eye-opening. I have barely been using this plugin, apparently. I had seen all the things that this guy was talking about on here. If you go to the advanced options here, these custom envelopes, like I didn't realize that like this word duty is a strange one. It doesn't compute in my brain. I don't know what it means. It doesn't fall into like common plugin vernacular, I guess. But it is just kind of for the pulse square waves, it's the 3 different types it has. But if you come in here and put in like a 2, it will move it from whatever one I have it selected up here as, 12.5, to this is 0, this is 1, this is 2 as code here for the duty. So if I set it to 12.5 and I've got this set to 1, it's now going to move it from 12 to 25. But the beginning is just it's 12.5 for a second. And it's different than just being 12.5. Oh, that's really obvious. So the sound was changing, but it wasn't very obvious because it was going from a smaller sound to a bigger sound. Going from a bigger sound to a smaller sound, though, is significantly more obvious. So if I do this, that's 12.5. But if I set it to 25 and I put the duty to tell it, hey, take it from that 25 and push it down to 12.5. Hear that edge? He also showed me how to make le bass. So these are the settings he used for making his kick drum. 12.2-64 N10F. I wish I could just, oh my goodness. MacBooks are insane. This is a YouTube video. I'm grabbing text out of a YouTube video. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, cool. Well, let's see. Does it copy paste though? Okay, it didn't copy paste perfectly, but that's still crazy. The last one's F, right? Oh, and this is supposed to be 2. He has a set of triangle as well. I'm straight stealing that setting. Let's see. All right. We're like 40 minutes in. Watching YouTube tutorials takes up a lot of time. I definitely am excited to experiment with some more settings. Go back and rewatch that video and kind of like actually, I want to make a note sheet. I want to go back and like watch that video, like make some notes of like do these things, because there's a lot of information in that video that I definitely kind of glossed over. But yeah, percussion's starting to get there. We definitely need to do a transition between these two sections. They kind of just goes from one to the next. But the new bus and percussion and stuff like that, good little work for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.